What's up, YouTube? It's Brandon again, back with your weekly commute. So I am really happy to be back. Happy to be developing a cadence with the vlog. And I want to talk to you guys today about one of my personal favorite subjects, and something that I tend to get a lot of questions about in my personal life through my network of friends and family, and just people that are in my life, and that is about my fiance calls it penny pinching, which is a fair name or way to refer to it, but I'm going to actually title this, it's more along the lines of like financial well-being slash credit-worthiness slash just really success. It's really just a manifestation of success, in my opinion. Now, the first thing I should say about this, as I go and throw that label of success on it, is that I understand that not everyone is motivated by finances. I know that, I'm aware of that, and if that's you, if you're not, if you don't value material things and monetary success, if you don't feel like that's something really that is important to you, that's all right. It's a good thing actually to know what it is that you value most. That's not me. I'm not that way. I like to have nice things. I like to stay in nice places. I like driving nice vehicles. I like wearing nice clothes, all that kind of stuff. Now, some of my friends are going to laugh at that because I don't dress up a lot, but because I like to be comfortable. I'm an engineer, so I have that dichotomy, right, of just I'm most comfortable in like flip-flops, shorts, and a t-shirt. But that doesn't mean I still like having nice things. So if that's you, and you value money, you value financial success, you're looking to be more successful, you're looking for more, or if you're struggling, if you're having a hard time, you're living maybe paycheck to paycheck, let me just real quick in a nutshell kind of tell you my financial story. I grew up in a home where my mom and my dad both worked a lot. They worked really, really hard at their jobs. My mom owned 2 tax offices, and so for 6 months out of the year at least, she was in her office 80 hours a week plus. During tax season, I remember she would sleep at her office, and just wouldn't really come home all that often, just because she was grinding. She was trying to provide for her family and me and my brother and sister. So and then my dad, he worked really hard too. He worked 80-ish hours a week, worked overtime at different times, and I have a tremendous amount of respect and gratitude for the sacrifices that they made to provide a life for me and my brother and sister, and food, and just vacations, and some of the things that they did for us. We weren't wealthy by any stretch, but we weren't we weren't poor either. We just I don't know how to say it. It just kind of is what it is, right? There were definitely times when there were struggles, like when a car broke down, having money to fix a vehicle that broke down, that was a real hindrance at different times. So I grew up and I had this idea that like I don't want it to be like this, right? And they both encouraged me to do right, just like we all do with our kids. Go do better than I did, right? Than we did. So I went to college. I got a degree that is difficult to get, an engineering degree. And the reason that I chose to do that really difficult degree is because of what it could provide for me and my family, right? And it's turned out just like that. Now, I should say I'm not wealthy. I'm not rich, I have more than what I need, way more than what I need. All of my basic needs are met, and most of my wants are met. For the most part, I go where I want to go. I eat where I want to eat. If I see something that I want, I generally will just buy it. My bills get paid. I don't struggle financially, right? Part of that is because of the degree that I got, but part of it also is because of what I want to share with you in this vlog, and that is the first rule. If you are having a hard time financially, or even if you're not, but you want more, you want to do more, we all, I'm going to say must, we all need to have a budget. Now, a budget is something that's a skill that is learned, right? Nobody just inherently knows how to budget unless they've been taught or they've picked up some information somewhere. I would encourage you, and this is not the purpose of this vlog, so I'm not going to go into all of what budgeting is, but at a very basic level, we all should know down to the penny exactly how much income we're going to have and exactly what our expenses are on a historically recurring basis. I'm funny about it because I save my receipts, even if it's 73 cents or $1.99 or whatever it is. I save my receipts and log those, right? Keep track of those, because that'll tell you what your spending habits are. It's amazing. When I first started doing that about 10 years ago, I couldn't figure out, I was working at a restaurant at the time, I was in college, and I couldn't figure out, why am I having such a hard time coming up with money? Where's all my money going? I remember I would ask myself that, where'd my check go? I just had enough money, and I looked at my money when I got paid, and I determined mentally that it was going to be enough to pay my bills and then some, and then, within a few days or a week tops, I would go, where'd all my money go? Why don't I have any money left, right? And so when I started budgeting and I started keeping track of my expenses, I started seeing, oh wow, I blow my biggest one, I blow a lot of money eating out. And I'm telling you, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars eating out. Even if you're eating at Taco Bell or McDonald's or some crappy fast food, it really adds up, and you might not know it or see it if you're not keeping a budget. So keep a budget, keep track of your expenses, your finances. Your future self will thank you for caring about your well-being. All right, so learn how to say no to self. One of the things I'm a bit of a tightwad, right? Learn how to ask yourself, do I really need this thing that I'm wanting to buy? Or is it just something that I want, right? If it's a need, if it's really a need, now you have to define what that is and be honest with yourself enough to know, is this really, really a need, or is it something that I'm trying to justify why I need it, but really deep down it's something I want, right? Needs for me are things like, transportation, obviously, a home with utilities, food, right? Clothing, and clothing's a funny one. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But figure out if it's a need or a want. If it's a want and it's not something that you need and it's just something that you want, develop the ability to say no to yourself. To decide, you know what, this is something that I want but I don't need. I'm not going to buy it right now. I still want it. And you know what I do? I still, to this day, I have a list on my phone. I keep it on my phone and I just call it my wish list. I have a list of things that I want, and they're not needs. They're just things that I want. Some of it's stupid stuff. Some of it could almost be, like, I'll give you an example of one that could almost be a need, but I really don't believe it's a need. It's a home surveillance system. I want security cameras for my home. Now, there are some use cases where that could be put into a need category and not a want category. But at the end of the day, it's really, really, really not a need. My life, the life of my family, does not directly depend on it. I know somebody out there is thinking, especially if you're a camera salesman or a home surveillance salesperson. You know, if you get broken into, your life could depend on it. I understand that, and that's why I say it's almost a need, but not quite. But I just keep a list of stuff that I want. And then when the time is right, you know, I don't just, when I think about it, jump on Amazon and buy it. Most of the time. Sometimes I do. But practice that. Learn how to say no to self. No, I don't need that thing. And know what your weakness is too, right? So I said we were going to talk about the clothing thing. My fiance is a shopper. My weakness, one of my weaknesses, there's not only one, but one of my big weaknesses is gambling. I love to gamble. I like to shoot dice, play craps. I know that about myself. She knows that about herself. And so I know that when gambling comes up, I have to be extra vigilant about, is this really a good decision financially for me right now? Oh, by the way, you should let people in when you're driving. I'm letting somebody in right now. It makes a huge difference. Is this really something, you know, I'm weak in this area, right? When gambling comes up, I always want to gamble, always. There's never a time when anybody's ever said, hey, you want to go to the casino? And I've deep down thought, no, that doesn't sound fun. It always sounds fun to me. That always is something that I would love to go do right now, yes. But is it something that I really, really should do? Is it a good decision? Does this make sense for me right now? What other expenses do I have coming up? Does this fit into my plans for my finances and for my family, you know, in the coming weeks and months, and really even you can go to a year level. Like this year, you guys all know I'm getting married in a couple weeks. I've had to scale a lot of stuff back. My buddy on Saturday said, hey, let's go to the casino. I would love to have gone to the casino Saturday, but it just doesn't make any sense for me to go do that. Same thing with shopping for my fiance. We're working on that together. We both make the right decision sometimes, and sometimes we make the wrong decision. But you know, learn to pinch your pennies, right? There's another, there's a budgeting platform, I guess, and they talk about give every dollar a job, and I believe in that wholeheartedly. You should know where your money's going. If you don't listen to Dave Ramsey's a great resource. There's so much good information out there. The last thing I want to talk about, because I think I went really long on my last vlog, and I don't want to do that again, so I want to cut it kind of short. I don't know what the cap will be or what the norm is, but we're at 12 minutes right now. Credit-worthiness. I never knew the value of having a good credit score until I had a good credit score. And before that, I always kind of just thought, you know, that's something that either doesn't apply to me, or I'll never have that, or that's something that adults do, right? And you know, that's not for me. I'm telling you, it's never too soon to start building your credit and your credit worthiness. A car is a perfect example. I was talking to a friend the other day, and he was talking to me about the interest rate that he pays in his car, and it just was like, oof, that is brutal. If you have a good credit score, you can get I think I get like 2.9 something interest on my on my truck. And I probably could even go get a lower loan now if I wanted to refinance it, but I don't. I don't want to go through the hassle, and I'm already getting a really good deal. So anyway, you know, how to build credit, right? It's of paramount importance that you don't miss payments. You make your payments on time. That's one of the easiest ways. If you finance something, if you have some kind of a, whether it's rent or a mortgage payment, credit cards are a bad idea in general. Credit card debt can easily get out of control. But make all your payments. I recommend making more than the minimum payment. Don't just pay the smallest amount that you have to pay. You know, keep those accounts open, right? They look at the age of each account that you have, and they average those out. The longer you've had a number of accounts open, the better off you'll be, the better your score will be. Credit Karma really is just very informative. It's an easy tool to use. They have an app. That's a great tool that everybody can use. You can go sign up for free. It really, truly is free. I've been using it for years. And you'll learn a lot about what you can do right now to improve your credit score. When you go to buy a house, you're going to have decent credit, because you won't get approved for a loan if you don't have at least decent credit, if not good credit. All right, I think that's it. 15 minutes has gone by. Thank you all for joining. Please like, subscribe, and let me know if you have any feedback, if you have ideas for next week's show. This week's show actually was my fiance's idea. She said that I should talk about this, so because honestly I'm running out of stuff to talk about. So anyway, let me know what you guys think, and have a great one. Bye.